Man, oh man, man, oh man. Tempers flare. Fight breaks out live in the studio on the Ken Carmen and Anthony Lima show. You are now tuned in to a brand new episode of the Simply Ball Dropping Podcast. I'm your host and the man behind the mic, K. Sapp. Well, guys, man, Anthony Lima makes you want to get into a heated discussion with him and go to blows with him, because this notion that Anthony Lima has about Shedeur Sanders is getting out of hand, and Ken Carmen is not going for none of it. And an explosive fight breaks out live on air in the studio on 92.3 The Fan with Ken Carmen and Anthony Lima. But we got to talk about it right after this.
Let me put you on game. These other podcasts out here talking that shit, but ain't repping the same. It's my bro K-Sapp, chopping up topics for your optics. From politics to your top hits. Tune in, you gotta watch this. Exclusive material for your radio stereo, pumping high definition. Stop what you doing and listen. We smashing all competition. You better jump on this wave. Somebody pass me a mic, man. I got something to say.
Man, guys, man, let's talk about this guy, Anthony Lima, one more time. This is getting out of hand. Anthony Lima, or Lima, is going to great extents to really smear the name of Shedeur Sanders. If you just listen to some of the things that Anthony Lima has said about Shedeur Sanders, it is not warranted. The disdain, hate that he has for Shedeur Sanders. And we thought Jason Lloyd was the one that really had the hate for Shedeur Sanders. Nah, Anthony Lima, hands down, has more hate for Shedeur Sanders than Jason Lloyd. I'm just calling a spade a spade. If you just listen to some of the things that Anthony Lima has said about Shedeur Sanders, this notion that he is the worst quarterback in modern day history, this is the same thing Jason Lloyd said based off the stats. And Anthony Lima is piggybacking off of Jason Lloyd, but he's taking it a step further. So now that the quarterback room with the Cleveland Browns, you have Shedeur Sanders as your number one, Deshaun Watson, and Dylan Gabriel. Now everybody's talking about, well, what should Cleveland do in the draft? Should they draft a quarterback? Well, after the national championship game last night, we seen that Francisco Mendoza, he's going to be the number one pick going to the Las Vegas Raiders. Tom Brady was in the building. And then you got the likes of Dante Moore. He's going back to Oregon. So you put a monkey wrench in the system. And the Cleveland Browns, they have the 6th and the 22nd pick. Unless you want to trade all your assets up to pick a quarterback, which ain't going to happen. They need to get a wide receiver. They need to get an offensive lineman. I like Francis Mawawi from Miami. See what he did last night. He was stellar in his performance last night. But now you got people talking about Cleveland should go out in free agency and get them a veteran quarterback. And this guy, Anthony Lima, says that he would take Malik Willis, hands down, man down, over Shedeur Sanders any day of the week. And he's said that from what he's seen of Malik Willis, he's much better than Shedeur Sanders. Malik Willis been in the league 3 or 4 years and has only started 4 ball games. And Ken Carmen and Anthony Lima went at it over Malik Willis and Shedeur Sanders, where it got heated and testy and emotions ran high and a fight breaks out live on air in a verbal battle. I'm going to let you guys listen to what they was talking about today and just listen how Ken Carmen just can't deal with Anthony Lima no more. Take a listen.
I've watched him play in games that matter, and he's been pretty good.
When did you watch him play in games that matter?
This year, he came in for Jordan Love this year against the Bears and played pretty damn well.
He started one game for Jordan Love.
And he came in relief in another game.
He started one game, and he came in relief. Great. So he came in the game.
So nobody should pick up Malik Willis, judging by your
That's
scouting.
That's not what I'm saying.
So then who does?
That's not
You're
what I'm
not
saying.
making any sense.
But your argument sucks.
So how do
That's the point I'm
how do
making.
the Browns get better quarterbacks?
So, hey, Malik
What
Willis.
is Ken Carmen's argument?
Malik Willis.
You just told me the Browns are going to win 4 or 5 games with Shedeur next year.
I just want to make sure.
How do they get better at quarterback?
Anthony wants to hand him money.
Notice he's not answering.
No, because I'm going to make sure that everybody knows this.
Notice he's calling my idea dumb. His idea is sticking with Dylan Gabriel, Deshaun Watson, and the worst quarterback in modern history statistically.
Because everything Lyman's
so
arguing
that's a good idea. You guys heard it.
Because Anthony
Ken Carmen said that's a good idea.
Because Anthony is obsessed with bots on the internet that he's arguing with.
I'm obsessed
that he's
with
willing to do anything to go on.
I look at numbers. What are you looking at?
I'll give you numbers.
What are you looking at?
Numbers. He came in 4 games. He came in 3 in spot duty, coming in for Jordan Love. So you come in games that they're getting ready for other quarterbacks and that they haven't seen a lot of you. So he's obviously played well enough. We can give up $50 million to the guy over 2 years
this is why,
and invest in him.
This is why you scout. This is why you have teams that scout.
We suck.
So
this is why.
No, it isn't because we haven't done that.
God will, and I hope no one over there is listening.
We haven't done that. Instead, we pushed a 5th rounder to the top, and he played like the worst quarterback. Played worse than DTR. That's your idea? That's the smart idea Ken Carmen came up with? What? Are you listening to yourself?
I want to go for I want to invest in somebody more worthwhile. You're giving me no argument for Malik Willis other than basically you hate Shedeur Sanders. That's the only argument you can make. Shedeur Sanders is so bad I can't have because you just want to have arguments with bots on the internet.
I'm arguing with you, and it's not a very good one for you. What starting quarterbacks are just available in the NFL? Which ones? You tell me.
Available are not very good.
So then how do the Browns get better at quarterback?
They're not going to get better at quarterback
Why
this
do
year.
I go to a Browns game next year?
I don't know. I'm not a salesman.
And try selling that to Myles Garrett and Denzel Ward as their primes are passing them by. So that's the plan. That's the Ken Carmen plan.
Myles Garrett just signed a lifetime contract.
And he's going to hate it here 3 weeks into next year.
Oh, I'm really concerned that he hates it here.
You say that, but you're going to be pretty upset.
No, I don't, because he plays his ass off. So as long as he's chasing records, he plays his ass off.
I think Ken's going to be mighty red on Mondays.
If
they're 0-3 and Myles Garrett is sitting by himself,
you guys
counting his sack totals.
You guys think I sound crazy now? If you think I sound crazy now, just imagine me trying to go out there and blaming Myles Garrett for any of this if he plays any bit like he did this last year. Could you imagine how stupid it would be that I blame Myles for that? But you're telling me to sell him on some... Myles doesn't have that right anymore to be upset about it. He signed on the dotted line and he plays his ass off, so I can't say anything about it. Now, can I?
He was about to snatch him up. He was about to snatch Anthony Lima up. He put them hands out there. You lucky they was separated, because he was about to get out that chair and he was about to go right at Anthony Lima. Anthony Lima is a clown, man. Anthony Lima, this notion of, hating on Shedeur Sanders, and you heard in that little soundbite, you heard what Ken Carmen said. This is your disdain hate for Shedeur Sanders. You're just going to make up anything about Shedeur Sanders, and you're going to try to, sway the audience that Shedeur Sanders is the worst thing since sliced bread. Anthony Lima never played the game. Look at it from the eye test. You talk about he was the worst quarterback. Shedeur Sanders did great things when Shedeur Sanders came in there. You're pissed off because Shedeur Sanders, out of the 7 starts that he had, he got 3 victories. And he won the last 2 games, which threw the monkey wrench in your notion of going out there getting a quarterback, because you was hell-bent on Cleveland drafting a quarterback, and Shedeur Sanders threw a monkey wrench in that system because he won 2 straight games over divisional opponents, the Pittsburgh Steelers and the Cincinnati Bengals, to close it out to go into the offseason. And another thing, you're mad because Dante Moore now has said he's going back to Oregon for another year. So your plan has been derailed. You've been exposed all the way around the board. And this notion of Shedeur Sanders not wanting to be on the Cleveland Browns roster because you say so and you don't want him there, that's the hate and the dislike that you have for Shedeur Sanders. And I'm glad that, Ken Carmen is getting tired of you. He's exposing you all the way around the board, and it don't make no sense. And I'm glad that the producers was there to separate you guys, because Ken Carmen was going to let you have it. And I would have loved to seen the brawl take place on national television. But if the brawl would have took place, they would have edited that out. But you better be careful, Anthony Lima, because you barking up the wrong tree, and Ken Carmen is getting sick and tired of your antics, and it's not going to go well for you. And this notion that you talking about, he looks bad in his take. No, you look bad in your take. Guys, let me know what y'all think about today's video. Get down in the comments section. If you're not subscribed to the channel, do me a favor. Hit the subscribe button. Turn your post notifications on so you know every time Simply Ball drops another hot banger. Oh, yeah, just in case I forgot. Tell a friend to tell a friend, and it might not be for you, but it might be for them. I see everybody in the comments section. #salute. And this is going to wrap up another episode of the Simply Ball Dropping Podcast. I'm your host and the man behind the mic, K-Sap. We're going to catch you on the next one. Deuces.
Thanks for listening to the Simply Ball Dropping Podcast. Be sure to subscribe, like, and share on all major platforms.
That's all, folks.